welcome to today's webinar on haircare trends for 2025, the latest roundtable webinar from Cosmetics Business. I'm Julie Ray, I'm Head of Editorial at HPCI Media, and I will be your moderator for this session. Now, 2024 offered our industry a plethora of hair heroes and trends. More positive hair density conversations supplanted negative ones around hair loss, while retro hair looks from glass hair to shaggy wolf cuts trended, and rosemary oil gave way to botana, sage, and prickly pear oils in the battle for TikTok airtime. But what will be taking the crown in 2025? To answer this question, we have assembled a crack team of experts who I will introduce in just a minute. But before I hand over, I'd like to take the opportunity to mention just a couple of housekeeping details. Firstly, today's webinar will be available on demand if you'd like to revisit or share the content at any stage. And the last 20 minutes or so of the webinar will be devoted to a Q&A session. So feel free to ask our experts anything you like. You will see a box for questions in front of you right now, so do use this to send us in anything that you might have for our experts. So with all of that said, I'll now introduce you to our panel.
Hello and warm welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Petra Kuttler. I'm part of the marketing team within Clariant, and I'm looking forward to showing you just some of the trends that we see for hair care for 2025 and potentially beyond. But before we do that, let's have a closer look at where we are today. So what's our starting point? What has happened up until now? And for many of you, that might not come as a surprise, but it's really, for me, it's an exciting time for hair care, because when skincare is the one where you have for years already seen all these different steps and routines that have been built, hair care has very often been more like the unwanted stepchild, something that you just had to deal with somehow. But it was not something that was part of self-care or even that you had a routine for hair care. Whereas now you can actually see that in the drugstores when you just look into the shelves and you see all these different products that would enable you as a consumer to build a multi-step routine for hair care as well. And that also shows that very often it's connected that as a consumer, I'm willing to spend more money on that if I see the performance benefits, if I see it as an investment into myself and not just as something like I have to clean my hair. It's really something that I'm embracing, and it's an act of self-care. And building on that, let's have a closer look now what we from the Clariant side think is going to happen in the next coming years. And all the trends that you see in here are kindly provided by Mintel. It's either from the trend report from last year or the just recently published one for 2025. So there is a connecting factor in case you have seen that before. But I will also then use that and give you an outlook into how Clariant is addressing these trends. So the one trend which I wanted to highlight a little bit more today is sustainability and how that has changed over time. So what you might have seen going back a couple of years is that sustainability, especially coming from the chemical industry, it was more something like, yes, we have to do that. And we might even be able to get an extra premium out of that if we are playing it well. But nowadays, it's more like it's expected to be there. So in a way of describing it, if I'm not delivering on sustainability, I'm not even allowed on the playing field anymore. So, and consumers are more and more connecting sustainability also towards safety. And that means that very often I'm as a consumer, I would say, okay, if it's sustainable, it must be safe for me to use. But then on the contrary, if it's not sustainable, I might come to the conclusion and say, then it's not safe for me to use. And that translates into the following, where we see a rise in eco-conscious beauty and beauty choices, where our consumers are much, much more aware of what they are using, and they have a say in that. So for instance, natural ingredients have been there for a while, but this one actually goes one step further, where it says, I'm also okay as a consumer to use natural ingredients that might have been grown in a lab, but they are not synthetic. And that's then connected to anything else that's going on around us, where I'm like, I'm so overwhelmed as a consumer with all the chaos and the disasters around me, that I'm focusing more on the aspects that I actually can influence or have an impact on. And that would be making sustainable choices from the product side that I'm using, or even potentially being willing to pay a bit more to have that eco-friendly claim or sustainability angle that I might be looking for. So having said that, let's have a closer look how we from the Clariant side are addressing these markets and these trends. And I have two products I wanted to highlight. And for each of those, I also brought a few of end product examples where you can see how this has already been used in the market, just to give you like an inspiration, a little teaser of what can be done. And the first one is playing heavily into the sustainability aspect in terms of water saving. So I just brought here our whole range of the glucotane surfactants. Their inky name is a variation of the glucamides, and each of those have like different performance benefits, like with each product group. So here you have either different foam types, different solubilizing properties, or even just a chance to bring like extra thickening into the formulation. What I wanted to show you today is the water saving aspect, and probably you have been drawn to the graph already. So what we've done here is to evaluate how much water do I need to rinse out my shampoo after I used it, depending on which surfactant I have been using in the formulation. So we have a very simple comparison here where we have SLES versus one of our glucotanes, and most likely you have like they are varying also in the flash foam, but let's just say there are options in here where you have the exact same flash foam than you would have for SLES, and then you would start rinsing it and repeating that as long as you need to have no foam left. And if you just compare that side by side, you can see how drastically that changes if you use a glucotane instead of an SLES, for instance. So you can save quite a bit of water in the process. And while doing that, the glucotanes themselves, they are also ultra mild to skin and hair. They have sometimes even some color protection benefits, and they are naturally derived. That also translates into the very high renewable carbon index. So all of that combined is a very good option to just make fairly simple changes in your formulation, but have a huge impact on the sustainability angle. And just a few product examples here. So the typical go-to thing would be that you have a solid shampoo formulation. Not saying that is wrong or that it's too easy. It's a great solution, and this is just like something which has been more established in the market already, so we are more used to that. That's why I'm highlighting that. But the other ones are also playing with that angle of adding extra benefits into it, that you have not just like a simple shampoo formulation, but here in this context, you have like anti-hair loss, or here you combine it with like hair and beard shampoo. So it's like just bringing different angles into it, and also showing how mild the surfactants are that you are able to achieve that. So that's the one angle. And the second one would be conditioning benefits. So taking this one step further, I would like to also highlight Gen Advanced Hydra, which is a conditioning agent that is also 100% naturally derived, bio-based, and has no ecotox label. So for instance, if you are in the situation that you need to replace one of the standard emollients in your formulations or conditioning agents, that could be a very good alternative. And also to prove that a bit more, I brought us some data, and this is like very typical combing force data. So we have a comparison here between wet and dry detangling of a 3% active leave-in spray. And usually with these numbers here, the lower the value, the better the performance is. So what you can see is pretty much placebo would just be the formulation without any conditioning agent, that we have a reference point, and then we added like 2 silicone standards in here. Could also be something different, but just like seeing how does it perform versus some of the benchmarks that are very standard in the market. And here you can hopefully see that an Advanced Hydra gives you the same performance or even a better performance compared to classical standards. So it's a very good alternative if you are in the situation that you need to replace something. That could be something to look into, or just have a chance to try it out. Once again, a few product examples using Gen Advanced Hydra already in hair care. And here I just picked a few that are playing with this whole sustainability angle of like either refill packaging or concentrates, or even like the conditioning bars, giving you a better angle of like the concentrated version and less packaging, less water in the formulation, and hence a higher sustainability profile in the transportation. So having said that, hopefully I was able to inspire you to bring some new angles to you that you are willing to explore for hair care for next year. And if there are ever any questions or you would like to receive some samples, please reach out. Don't be shy. We're happy to connect with you, to support you in this. And once again, thank you for taking the time and enjoy the rest of our roundtable today.
Hello everyone, let's deep dive today in the slow aging and hair longevity trend. The idea is to discover together how the slow aging trend is transforming hair care by focusing on prevention and longevity inspired by skincare proactive approach. And the idea is to learn about powerful ingredients and innovative brands leading the way to keep hair strong, useful and resilient against everyday damage. The global population is aging faster than many realize, prompting a growing focus on maintaining health into older age. In 2020, 761 million people were aged 65 or older worldwide, a number projected to more than double to 1.6 billion by 2050. The share of older adults is expected to rise from 1 in 10 in 2021 to 1 in 6 by 2050. Amid this demographic shift, the focus has moved beyond the conventional idea of anti-aging that has long been a mainstay of the beauty industry. Today, consumers are embracing the philosophy of slow aging. But what does slow aging really mean? So slow aging is a beauty philosophy that promotes healthy, natural beauty without viewing aging as negative. Unlike anti-aging, which often implies a battle against aging or reversing it, I thought it were undesirable, slow aging embraces it as a natural and valuable part of life. It focuses on enhancing longevity and vitality through self-care, mindfulness, and sustainable habits, celebrating the wisdom and experiences that come with age. So if we want to put a definition, slow aging is a beauty philosophy that promotes embracing healthy and natural beauty without viewing the aging process negatively. So slow aging in hair care specifically targets the delay of aging. It's more realistic aging. The slow aging trend in hair care, inspired by skincare, is gaining momentum as consumers focus on hair longevity and preventive measures. As skincare moves from reactive anti-aging treatments to proactive regimens, hair care now emphasizes strong, healthy hair by addressing early damage and building resilience against future wear and tear to delay the hair aging process. So, slow aging is inspired by skincare. Key longevity factor is oxidative stress. We are moving from reactive anti-aging treatments to proactive regimen that protects and nourish. And there's a switch in the narrative from anti-aging to healthy glow. The idea to address early signs of damage and promote resilience against future wear and tear, recognizing the connect between health, care, and overall wellness. So we are focusing on long-term prevention benefits and delivering with a target of healthy hair throughout life. So the slow aging trends reflect a shift from simply treating visible damage to fortifying hair against signs of aging such as thinning, dullness, brightness. With age, hair naturally experiences structural changes, becoming more prone to breakage and losing its ability to retain moisture. Factors such as oxidative stress, hormonal fluctuation, UV exposure, and thermal styling can really accelerate this process, leading to what is often referred to as edge hair. So to address this concern, consumers are turning to products that incorporate powerful ingredients like antioxidant, peptide, and ceramide, widely used in skincare for their protective and regenerative properties. These ingredients work together to prevent and repair damage, strengthen the hair shaft, and deliver useful and healthy-looking hair. So antioxidants, they are well known for their ability to neutralize free radicals and protect against oxidative stress. Antioxidants such as vitamin C, E, and green tea extract are becoming staple ingredients in hair care formulation. They help protect the hair and scalp from environmental damage caused by UV pollution and external factors that contribute to premature aging and weakening of the hair structure. Ceramides, since ceramides are natural lipids found in the hair cuticles, they play a key role in maintaining the hair's moisture balance and barrier function. When used in hair care, ceramide help restore damaged hair by sealing the cuticle, locking in moisture, and enhancing smoothness. Similar to how they are valued in skincare for strengthening the skin protective barrier, ceramide in hair care work to improve the hair's resilience, reduce frizz, and protect against environmental stressors. And finally, peptide. Since hair is primarily composed of keratin, adding proteins to hair is a very popular strategy to restore the integrity of weakened or damaged fiber. Hydrolyzed keratin, collagen, and silk protein are often used to reinforce the hair structure, reduce breakage, and make hair more resistant to daily wear and tear. Traditionally, hydrolyzed protein in hair care were called proteins even when they include smaller peptide molecules. However, the term peptide, which is widely used in skincare, is now being increasingly adopted in hair care. Several hair care brands have embraced the slow aging trend, formulating products that leverage these key ingredients. So we can see Kerasta's Chronologist. This line focuses on revitalizing damaged and aging hair with a blend of hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, ceramide, protein, and peptide. Additionally, the Luxuriance formulation provides a sensory experience, transforming hair care into a rejuvenating ritual that promotes both physical and emotional well-being. Second interesting brand, Better No Younger. This brand explicitly targets the changes that come with aging hair, such as thinning, dryness, and decreased volume. The brand also offers customizable hair care solutions that cater to individual needs. So by providing options for different hair types and concerns, the brand empowers consumers to choose products that best support their hair's longevity and health. And finally, Monpure. This brand emphasizes hair longevity by using skincare-inspired ingredients to support hair and scalp health. Monpure's focus on clean, sustainable beauty caters to the rising demand for eco-friendly hair care, appealing to consumers who seek products that deliver results while minimizing the environmental impact. Beyond anti-aging, the focus on longevity is the next frontier in hair health, with three themes emerging. The resilience reinvented. Resilience is emerging as a key benefit in hair care, with a core strength claim evolving into advanced high-tech concepts like bone repair. However, consumers now seek resilience as a part of proactive approach, favoring products and ingredients that not only repair but also prevent future hair damage by increasing its tolerance to external aggressors. The empowered wellness, so holistic wellness, is gaining traction in hair as consumers seek products that link hair health with mental well-being. So solutions need to cater to various life stages and allow individuals to express their unique hair identity without being limited by age. Regardless of their hair journey or style, consumers want to maintain the glow of youthful hair and feel good throughout their life. And finally, show me the science. Consumers are looking for authenticity and visible outcomes, transparency in ingredient list, and solutions with proven benefits. They prefer brands that blend the latest scientific advancements with natural, safe, and clean ingredients, plus those that help to decipher the science by offering clear, concise information, by leveraging resources such as infographics and explainer videos. So, what does the future of the hair care category in the context of slow aging movement look like? Here are our top predictions for the future. Biomimetics will elevate the science of hair care by integrating technology that mimic and are inspired by natural material and processes, offering strong efficacy and long-lasting results. So innovation in biomimetic solutions will enable tailor-made products that adapt to individual hair needs, enhancing claims and boosting consumer trust. The scalp health is becoming a focal point for hair care, with a shift from products that only offer curative benefits to those that also provide preventive care. Future segmentation will increasingly differentiate products by scalp type, recognizing that the healthy scalp varies from person to person. The devices, combined with targeted products, are set to revolutionize the industry. This combination provides a comprehensive approach that builds consumer loyalty by delivering highly effective, personalized solutions. Devices that support hair health through precise treatments such as laser therapy and scalp massagers cater to the demand for targeted, efficacious results. And finally, supplements play an increasingly important role in the future of hair care, offering a holistic, inside and out approach to beauty. These products can be tailored to individual needs, providing essential nutrients that support hair health and promote slow aging from within. Personalized supplement regimen align with the growing consumer design for proactive measures that contribute to hair longevity and overall wellness. So as the global population continues to age, the slow aging trend in hair care is ushering in a new era of longevity-focused solutions. Consumers are increasingly prioritizing preventive and holistic approaches that promote hair health throughout their life. From biomimetic innovation and targeted scalp care, the future of hair care lies in comprehensive, science-driven methods that cater to individual needs. At Croda Beauty, our mission is to share consumer-driven insight and develop innovative ingredients with proven results. So join us in embracing this future-focused solution to ensure beautiful, healthy hair at every stage of the life. I thank you very much for listening today.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Very good. Excited to be on this presentation again.
Wonderful. Yes. So we're going to do a few core topics today. One is, of course, the future of hair care and the key trends of 2025. What do you see as a key trend in hair care in 2025?
So here, entering the last month of 2024, what we have seen is that the amount of studies that have been performed right now just on hair growth itself, while utilizing medical devices, is enormous. So we only have seen a similar trend about 10 years ago when the light therapy industry really started to grow into the beauty industry, where the light therapy was utilized for anti-aging. Now we see an exact similar trend in the clinical studies happening again in the end of this year, where you see more and more studies coming out showcasing that medical devices, either if it is galvanic or light therapy, that they really can increase the efficacious results in taking care of your hair. So it's going to be a super exciting year for the hair, and I do think that this is definitely going to be one of the biggest years for hair care and devices together.
So you just mentioned a few technologies. How is technology reshaping the way that we approach basically the hair health and beauty?
So technology now is something that we haven't really used into the hair care business that much, only for diagnostics. So diagnostics has been used for checking if the hair is growing, if the hair follicle itself is getting enough energy again to regrow, if the hair itself is getting thicker or not. So technology has always been a part out of the taking care of your hair and measuring it. But right now you see that hair care and technologies like microcurrent or laser or LEDs really enhance that result that consumers want to have. So you do see definitely that this trend of combining the serums and the shampoos together with something that of a device is becoming more natural for the users.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about how science basically meets the beauty, and Nuon Medical's technologies can contribute in this way. So what does the Nuon Medical, what role do they play basically in bringing the medical grade technology into hair care?
So as Nuon Medical, we have been making medical devices for the last 18 years. So the last 18 years, we've always made medical devices with modalities like light therapy, microcurrent, and so on. And what we see is that the real way to get into that mass consumer market is by not only just selling the device itself, but really trying to find a way, how can we enhance what people already as a habit use? For example, a shampoo or a serum or something just to what they already have on their daily life. So what we do is we take the experience that we have got for so many years out of the medical industry, and now we are enhancing this by adding these modalities into the consumer, the mass market, and making it accessible for everybody out there. For example, what we have done in one of our applicators, we added a serum applicator into a brush itself. So what it is that you already use a serum for in your hair. Now what we have done is we added that applicator to just drop in the serum, and we made it into a brush-shaped device where now you can not only just brush it in, but you also enhance it together with, for example, something like microcurrent or light therapy itself. So definitely this enhancement, upgrading of the current habits that people already have in the hair care, and making sure that we see these results there is something that Nuon has been doing for the last so many years. And now doing this together with the consumer devices is taking it to the next level.
Okay. Regulatory compliance for the hair care technologies. I know that Nuon is doing a lot with this, but how does Nuon Medical basically do the regulatory expertise and give brands the competitive advantage?
So as a medical device manufacturer, we clear more 510Ks than companies like Philips or Siemens together even.
Wow.
So just for example, last year we have done more than 24 devices on an FDA 510K, and each year our company is doubling and doubling.
Wow.
So on this note, we're a one-stop shop. So one of the deals we have with customers on the regulatory side of the business is that nothing gets paid until we clear the compliance. So we guarantee a pass, and we come up with solutions that your company is able to clear the FDA. We have records of doing it within 3 months, but we prefer to mention to customers that 4 or 5 months is a time that it takes us to clear their devices.
Yeah.
That's of course if we don't have a predicate device already that is similar in the same way of specifications up to the same specs of the device that they want to develop with us.
Yeah.
So very often you see that when a customer works on a new comb or a cap or a hairband, that we already have the 510K clearance, and that we change the appearance on it in a way that we reshape the design a little bit, and then engineering changes enough. So then you don't even need to go through all the 510K clearance again. We just need to go through new test reports, and we are able to utilize what we already have cleared. Now on this also, as the clearance code is OAP, you can see that just recently again we have got one cleared last week even, where it is a comb, and the comb has an option of 11 LEDs or 22 LEDs. So we make sure we always have options for customers to pick from, so that we have an off-the-shelf solution. But if it is not an off-the-shelf solution, then for us it takes about 4 to 5 months to make sure you have an FDA on your customized product. And again, because we handle it with so much care, and we're very serious about regulatory, we won't charge any customers any fees until the product is cleared. That's how sure we are of what we're doing.
Okay, wow. So with for example, the FDA, how does for example, Nuon make because these can let you then have science-backed claims, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the FDA has a few product codes related to hair care and hair diagnostics.
Okay.
So they give you very narrow but still good enough claims to make sure that you can claim hair regrowth and anti-hair loss. Those types of claims are very strict and they're quite strong already. But outside of that, we have a clinical department, a regulatory department that does these clinical studies. They can help you set up a study if you want to add additional claims. Or we can find any of these studies out there that already meet the specifications of your device, so you're able to add any soft claims to the device itself to be able to make additional claims coming out of a clinical study. Yeah.
Okay. And how does Nuon Medical then ensure that the hair care products that they create together with the cosmetics or serums, for example, both have the performance and the compliance part?
Wow. Okay, so what we do is we tackle this in two different ways. So we have our own lab where we look at the serum or the shampoo or any of the creams that are used together, where we research the efficacy together with the lights. We have very advanced light measurement technologies or microcurrent measurement technologies that we are able to measure what it does on the skin. In this way, we are able to see if there is any blockage, if there is any reduction or any resistance on it, and we're able to see if it's still as efficacious as we try to make it be for making sure we pass the FDA clearance standard.
Yeah.
Because those are preset standards. They live up to predicates. And inside our lab, we are able to create those files and those documents and those test reports that showcase that when you use it together with a cream, so not just by itself, but together with a cream, that it still creates that same efficacious result. The efficacious result comes out very often out of a clinical backed study that shows that, for example, within 6 weeks' time, this percentage of people have this much result. Yeah. And this is based off technical specifications like the current, like the voltage, the amperage, the milliwatts or the nanometers that live up to certain parameters. And not only we make sure we live up to those parameters, we develop the core electronics also ourselves. So as Nuon Medical, we don't just assemble products, we even manufacture and develop the LED or the laser diodes ourselves in our own facility.
Wow.
And that's unknown in the industry. This is never done before. Why we do this is not a cost saving, but it's definitely making sure that we can guarantee the quality that we have.
Wow, yeah. Cool. Well, Alain, thank you very much. If anything you want to add, I think we got it so far.
I just want to say to you guys that based on what we have seen so far is that 2025 definitely is going to be a hair care market year. Okay. We can see from all the research, all the movement in the industry that hair care is just picking up a lot more. And it's not just going to double or triple, it's going to go in many multiples.
Wow.
So paying attention on your brand and making sure that you stay on the top of the market is definitely one of the movements you should consider, is adding the technologies, making sure you stay on the top of it, either by diagnostics, adding a program to your hair care, or just any other medical modality to make sure you can enhance the claims that you're making. Yeah. Because one thing I forgot to mention is that once we add these medical modalities to your serum, let's say, for example, you have a serum that isn't FDA cleared for hair growth. Yeah. Now what you can do is, because the brush itself or the technology that we use is FDA cleared for hair growth, you can call this a hair growth solution.
Yes.
So literally, if I would take a liquid with green tea in it or something that doesn't clear FDA, but it still has a lot of antioxidant effect and it works very well for the scalp. Now, if you utilize the technology of Nuon together with that, we're able to make the claim on it that it still is a hair growth hair growth solution. Okay. So what you're trying to sell is that program, making sure you have your current serum, and then that the serum doesn't have the regulatory on it, doesn't matter, because the device already has it. Combining this makes it in an overall solution where you can go out there and market this as a hair growth solution, a hair growth program. Wow. So that definitely sets you apart.
Yeah, no, that would definitely. Well, I look forward to 2025. Thank you very much.
Exciting hair year, yes.
Let's.
Hello everyone, I'm Juliet Rivera, part of the Personal Care Applications team at Siltech Corporation. It is great to be here with you today to discuss hair care trends, so thanks Cosmetic Business for organizing these roundtables. Today, I will discuss 3 key hair care trends for 2025, identified by Siltech through Mintel Insights. First is knowledge is power, in which consumers, especially younger generations, are using AI tools to scan ingredients, driving demand for multifunctional products that simplify routines. And next, turning the tide highlights sustainability with a focus on eco-friendly, biodegradable formulations and ingredients that adapt to climate changes, like, for example, varying humidity levels. And lastly, think slow, move fast reflects the demand for long-lasting, multifunctional products that provide comfort, enhance sensory experiences, and promote mindful consumption. As we approach 2025, silicones remain essential for addressing evolving beauty trends. At Siltech, we deliver innovative solutions focused on personalization, offering multifunctional benefits for both skincare and hair care. And sustainability is still a priority with eco-friendly options like renewable elastomers and bio-based carbon content ingredients to support environmental goals. And our silicones also enhance sensory appeal, providing luxurious textures, shine, and smoothness. And with their unique chemistry, they ensure high performance and consistent results, even in changing conditions, helping brands to create reliable and effective products. Now that we have explored these trends, let me introduce some of Siltech's specialty silicone solutions that help formulators stay ahead of the curve. On this slide, you will see a range of innovative products we offer for hair care, but today I will be focusing on 4 key solutions: our cationic quad called Silquat Dye 30 F4D, silicone resin called Silmer UR 5050, D5 alternatives, and silicone elastomer jetting renewable carrier called Silmer Sustain Age. Each of these trends addresses one or more of the trends we just discussed, offering unique benefits such as enhanced performance, sustainability, and sensory appeal. Let's start with Silquat Dye 30 F4D. So this ingredient, Silquat Dye 30 F4D, has an inky name of Quaternium 80, and it plays a key role in addressing the evolving trends in hair care, offering benefits that align with both the knowledge is power and the think slow, move fast trends. For the first one, it does not only boost conditioning, but also makes hair easier to detangle, leaving the hair sleek, silky, and non-greasy. It is also a perfect fit for multifunctional hair care routines and delivers real results that consumers can feel and trust. And for the second trend, this ingredient provides long-lasting smoothness, supporting products that offer both immediate performance and lasting benefits, making it an ideal choice for budget-conscious consumers seeking high-quality and versatile solutions. In our application lab, we tested this ingredient in a 2-in-1 shampoo using the Diastron instrument and a panel test, and the results were very good at low concentrations, showing that Silquat Dye 30 F4D reduced the wet combing force by over 80% and dry combing force by 35%. We also compare this ingredient to a commercial product with the same inky, and the performance was comparable, ensuring no significant compromise in the results. Let's now explore our next ingredient, which is Silmer UR 5050, a versatile silicone urethane film former resin popular in personal care, especially for skin and color. It supports personalization and efficiency, and it aligns with the turning the tide trends by enabling eco-conscious formulations that reduce waste and encourage minimalism. And it supports think slow, move fast trend by enhancing sensory appeal, smoothing the hair, while also offering multifunctional benefits for a mindful and efficient experience. Although Silmer UR 5050 has primarily been used in color cosmetics, our application studies have shown its versatility as an emulsifier in hair care formulations. We have successfully tested in 2 clear hair gel formulations. One is a moisturizing and the other one is a styling clear gels. And these formulas remain stable under our stability evaluation conditions without the need for any co-emulsifier. Silmer UR 5050 not only excelled as an emulsifier and field former in hair care, but has also proven to be highly effective in hair color formulations. In our application lab, we have found that it promotes extended color wear while enhancing smoothness and hair manageability. In this formulation, Silmer UR 5050 functions as the sole film former at a concentration of 2.5%, as well as the primary emulsifier for this high water content emulsion. After treating the bleached hair with this formula and washing it, the hair showed excellent color retention with strands remaining aligned, smooth, and vibrant. This highlights the resin's unique ability to preserve color while providing long-lasting performance and enhancing hair texture. Now, I would like to discuss Siltech's D5 alternatives, which are designed to address both performance needs and sustainability concerns. We understand that finding a replacement for D5 without sacrificing performance is a challenge. Our R&D team has developed cycle-free silicone fluids with varying levels of volatility, offering sensory benefits similar to D5 while being environmentally friendly. These alternatives provide lightweight, fast-drying solutions ideal for quick, efficient hair care routines. They also enhance shine, softness, and compatibility with organic oils, making them versatile across multiple applications. In our application lab, we compared the volatility and sensory profile of our cycle-free alternatives to D5. And as the data shows here, we offer a range of ingredients with volatility performance closely matching D5, making them ideal for formulas where this property is crucial. And additionally, sensory analysis confirmed that these alternatives deliver a luxurious D5-like finish, which is essential for products prioritizing sensorial appeal over volatility. Now, let's move on to the last ingredient I would like to share with you today, which is Silmer SustainAge. This silicone elastomer gel made with a renewable carrier and over 85% bio-based carbon content is designed to offer both exceptional performance and sustainability. Developed as an alternative to traditional elastomers in D5, Silmer SustainAge provides the same high-performance benefits while also supporting eco-conscious formulations. In our lab, we compare a hair cream with just 1% active Silmer SustainAge to a formulation containing 1% elastomers in D5 and to a control without silicone. The results from diastrom testing showed that both elastomer gels significantly improved the smoothness compared to the control. And additional studies also showed benefits like flyaway reduction, better alignment, and smoother hair. With Silmer SustainAge, formulators can achieve superior performance in eco-friendly products. Before we finish, I would like to emphasize how Siltech certifications and ethical practices directly benefit your formulations. For example, our ISO 40001 certification ensures that we meet high environmental management standards, giving you confidence in the sustainability of the ingredients you choose. Additionally, our recognition by EcoVadis highlights our efforts in socially responsible sourcing, ensuring that our products align with your brand's values and consumer expectations. Compliance with Canadian Bill S-211 reinforces our dedication to ethical sourcing practices, providing a trusted foundation for the formulations you create. Through these initiatives, Siltech not only supports a more sustainable future, but also helps you meet your formulation goals without compromising performance. And with that, I thank you for your attention. We are here to support your goals. So for any questions about our ingredients, lab results, or formulations, please reach out to a Siltech representative and they will be happy to assist you. Thank you.
Welcome to the live Q&A session of today's webinar. We hope you've enjoyed all of the presentations and hopefully learned a few things too. Our panelists are now here to answer all of your questions, and you can send these in, as mentioned earlier, using the box in front of you. And you can see that we have been joined by David Zhang, Personal Care Application Chemist at Siltech, joining us for the Q&A too. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So let's get started. We've got a great question that's come in here asking, if you could focus on just one area of hair care in 2025, which would this be? Stephanie, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, of course, sure. Very great question. So yeah, I think the topic that is really unavoidable in hair care is bond building in the repair territory. And to explain a little bit why, I would say self-expression is really the new self-care as consumers want to show their authentic selves, experiment and challenge beauty standards. So even if everyone's hair has unique and specific needs, regardless how different people are, they have one common need, caring for their hair health. And healthy care requires long-lasting repair of the hair fiber, cortex, and cuticle. So, yeah.
Fantastic answer. Does anyone else want to weigh in? Because I feel this is one that maybe we can all answer, right?
Oh, definitely. This is one that we can all answer. We coming from the medical device industry. So I'm Alan Dijkstra from Nuon, and we have been in the hair care industry in the very early stage when the FDA started to approve hair regrowth as a medical claim in the industry, in the device industry. And I can just definitely say that that's a very big topic right now. Not just for the male market, but definitely overall, even a larger market being female, going through the menopause, after birth. It just shows amazing results once you start adding that light and now having the clearance of not only just lasers, but also LEDs. It opens up the door a lot more for a cost-effective way to regrow that hair.
Absolutely. Two great answers there. Lovely. So we have a question that's come in asking, what are the biggest formulation challenges with achieving all of these trends? Petra, do you want to maybe get us started with that?
Yeah, maybe just a few other trends as Warren mentioned, but I think in general, like very often when you try to swap out ingredients, and especially nowadays when you build on like very new innovation, it's not that simple to do anymore. It's not like just a one-to-one replacement or like a drop-in solution. So even though you would like it to be like a screening option, so you just throw it in, it's very often something where you have to start from scratch, building your formulation to make it work. And I think especially like my area is also in surfactants, so I see that very often when you want to swap to like sulfate-free systems, that you are facing all these challenges that you're like, okay, my foam is not working, the sensory is different, the system is not stable, my thickener is not the same anymore. And so you have all these questions and it's not that fast and simple anymore.
Absolutely. So we have somebody asking here, how does biotechnology play into hair care? Anyone want to answer on biotech?
Yeah, so I can do that one. To start, right, biotechnology is really booming, driven by consumer demand for natural and sustainable, effective cosmetic products. So from a sustainability point of view, we of course want to use biotech optimally to achieve net zero targets and wider sustainability objectives. But on a performance point of view, this really allows us to open up the field of possibilities with highly differentiated specialty actives to meet consumer needs for true customization. We can really elevate science, suggest high efficiency, long-lasting effect, So really enter the tailor-made products and enhance claim to build, I would say, better consumer trust.
Fantastic. Great.
What we do, so sorry to jump in, what we do here in Nuon as well, with the biotech, the key is what she just also said, is that customization to the treatment. So being able to measure the situation on your scalp, being able to take a device, measure the pH level, the moist, the oil on your skin, that definitely drives to that customization. And that we do see as one of the biggest trends in this next year. So measurement diagnostics as a device form, as well as the treatment. Wow, there you have an ideal combination, yes.
Wonderful, kind of future-proofing the area there. Lots of exciting stuff. So I have a question asking here, what are the future trends in out of shower hair care? That's a really interesting one. Does anybody want to hop on that question?
I can try, but please, everyone else pitch in. I think we can all answer that to some extent. What you see in the market, I think that's very exciting. Hair care has gotten much more diverse in the last couple of years. So you have like all these different steps that you can build on nowadays. You have like pre-shower treatments, you have scalp serums, leave-on sprays, you name it. There's like a whole variety. And I feel like many of the steps which used to be traditionally like shampoo and conditioning under the shower are now taken outside of the shower. So just could be out of water-saving options, time-saving options, like whatever is most applicable. But I feel like really the repair aspect has moved out of the shower. So it could be either that you do like the pre-treatment or you do the after-treatment, depending on how strong of a repair need you have. But it's really limiting it only to like, I just need to use the water where I really need to for the cleansing aspect. And for the rest, I just keep it outside of the shower or even on the go if I need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Overall, hair care is much more than just doing and taking care of your hair in the shower. Brushing it, and while you brush it, you take care of it at the same time, just with a simple ionization, or again adding something like a galvanic treatment or a laser or an LED treatment is already becoming a standard of hair care right now. So yeah, where as a device industry, we always had the troubles of, okay, how do we make it all waterproof? Now that we have it all waterproof, actually people are getting very used to wearing like a hairband now with lights in it and taking care of the scalp, massaging it. So a lot of the applicators, what we see, are actually not required to be fully waterproof. While they are, they do use them just after the shower or before.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely. So we have a question here asking, what do you see as the biggest trend from a sustainability perspective? This is a huge question. Who wants to be the first to answer that?
So now I think one of the main compartments of concern for cosmetic is water quality. And the water footprint is really a challenge for the entire hair care industry with sustainable criteria such as aquatoxicity and biodegradability, which today weigh heavily as performance. I would say it's a real turning point in our sector because performance has always been the first for decades.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I fully agree, Stephanie. One more aspect actually on that is I feel sustainability has also moved beyond the environmental aspect, that it's more about the consumers perceive it also is it safe for me to use? And then also on the contrary, if it's not sustainable, it might be perceived as being not safe to be used. And I think that's a huge game changer also in how we do marketing, how we are positioning our materials and the end products, that the consumers are understanding, hey, this is sustainable, this is water saving as one example, but that also means it's safe for you to use.
On the device side of it, where we have the applicator or the comb, once you have something to go with your serum or with a comb or a band, the principle already is that, for example, you put the serum in the comb to then dispense it on the scalp. People expect to buy refills. and then the comb becomes the device. So their sustainability is very high because nobody's throwing away that medical device. So on that side, I think the integration of the medical device or medical application into the treatment itself directly made it from the consumer side very, very, very sustainable because people just want refills or things to go with it.
Absolutely. It really encourages that consumer compliance there. Fantastic. And David, we haven't yet heard from you. From a sustainability perspective, what do you think is going to be the biggest trend in hair care?
I think the sustainability is a excellent trend for the whole market, but the solution is not easy. Not only for performance-wise, but also for the sensory or after-feel, multifunctional, all-in-one, something like that. So our silicone can make things, better. For example, the sensory or performance-wise. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Now we have a question here. Alan, I think this might be right up your street, asking, hair devices with red light and infrared light are growing extremely fast. Will this trend continue in 2025?
Wow, that's right up my sleeve. Coming from the beauty side of the business and the medical devices, we as a factory itself, we have seen a growth of multiples each year. So just in the factory capacity, a year ago it was 400 people. Now we're 900 people. The devices we make last year was 470 devices. This year is already more than 900 different devices. So on this side, we see a very clear trend that it doubles. But especially on hair care, you see something very unique where you see, and this you see on the clinical trend of it. The clinical trend shows, and that's also like a precursor of what the market is going to do. If you look at the clinical studies out there, they're ramping up so fast right now. And there's so many out right now on the hair care itself and light therapy with it, as well as galvanic treatments and so, that you already can predict that the hair care market will, within the next 2 years, take over for our device industry, the facial care market, what is, a huge market already. So hair care definitely, from the clinical trend, we can analyze that within the next 2 years, it will be, a top seller.
Absolutely massive opportunity there.
Yes.
We've got a question that's come in. I really like this one. In hair repair, what are the key claims that you are seeing appearing on the market? I think that's such a huge area as hair.
I can start with that one. A little bit of history. So Laplex invented the bone building category back in 2014. It has been followed by K18 with the same molecular repair story and the K18 peptide. And these two brands, followed since by many others, both on professional and mass market, have really created new claims in the hair care, like bone repair, reset to virgin hair, 100% stronger, very powerful claims that are completely new, I would say, in the category.
Fantastic. And
claims are all up the sleeve, the FDA, right? Sorry about that. So where you can make the real medical claims is about hair regrowth. That's the strongest one you pretty much want to have. Now, combining that with just a little brush where you put your serum, your application, your formulation inside, or just an applicator or a brush or anything, pretty much that shape form factor, really enhances you now to still make that claim that it's a hair regrowth formula. So although your formula doesn't have FDA clearance, because you put it in a medical device, it becomes a hair regrowth program, a hair regrowth solution. So adding your non-FDA cleared formula now into a smaller applicator with lights in it can make sure that your brand and your formulation still achieve that hair regrowth claim that it always wanted to have.
Fantastic. Great stuff there. So we have one in asking, and this is an interesting area. I think we saw this go. People were saying it was going to be huge, and then maybe it didn't quite take off. But somebody here is asking, what is the future of solid formats for hair care? Does anybody want to hop onto that question?
I can take that one. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know where this is coming from, or how it started in a way of like the zero waste trend, and then also saving water and so on. But whereas now it's a bit like the overall concept behind it. So it's not just like the packaging itself anymore, even though that definitely saves you some kind of plastic. But then it's also in the end like, how much water do I need while I use the product? So is it really, it's just saving me water in the product itself, and I need like, I don't know, 3-4 times as much as usual to rinse it out of my hair again, and it doesn't save me anything? Or do I actually need to use more of it as the product itself to get the same performance? Then I might not even get the saving effect of like using less in the end. So I feel like it's hard to answer it with like one, yes, it's growing, or no, it's not growing. It really depends on the overall package that you get. So if the solid product is easy to rinse, if it's long lasting, then I would say yes, definitely go for it. It will continue to grow. But if you are only seeing it's like a condensed version of your shampoo, and you need to dilute it down yourself at home, and it's the same amount you would use out of a liquid one, then the savings are not significant, and you actually need more water at home. So the overall sustainability performance or benefit is completely gone. So even if you are playing in that industry and you are producing it yourself, I would recommend to really be transparent in how you are positioning that, to really also not just say, okay, you're saving, I don't know, two bottles of shampoo by using it, but maybe claiming you save so and so much amount of water on top of it, to give a better perspective of like the overall usage that is changing behind it.
Yeah, great point. You still got these parameters that you have to kind of hit. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it also depends on the surfactant you throw in, right? Like sometimes if you have a surfactant that is just like a huge, great foamer, and that's fantastic, but it takes ages to get it out of the hair again, then it might not tie into the whole benefit. So even just like making changes into the surfactant system of using something which gives you the same flash foam but is easy to rinse might also be a game changer in this concept.
Absolutely. So we have somebody asking, what is the future looking like for the industry, especially with it being so saturated? We've all been talking about how hair care is a big opportunity, but it is getting more and more saturated. So how can I stand out? This person is asking. So how can somebody stand out in this market?
Maybe just adding to what I was just saying, I feel like being authentic and transparent in the communication is a game changer, to really show the consumer like, hey, you can trust my claims, you can trust what I'm telling you here, and this is real stuff. Because like we all have been there as consumers, it's like super overwhelming. You have even more options now what you can choose from for your hair. And it sounds exciting, it sounds super promising in the claims, and you want to try it out, but you don't know where to start. And then you try and you fail, and it's like just not performing in the way it's supposed to. So really giving the consumers like hands-on recommendations, and really positioning yourself as a claim, as a brand where the claims are trustworthy and transparent. I feel like that really helps to build the storyline behind it.
Yeah, I think on the formulation side itself, and it's not my specialty, but on the formulation side, it's very hard to stand out. You see this very clear in the cosmetic industry as well. But now knowing that what we have to offer is to enhance the formulation. So we enhance it with a certain warming technology. You know, if you put it in your hands, it warms up. We enhance it with a cooling, or either with microcurrent diagnostics. So if you enhance this type of experience, where somebody can go and say, okay, the pH or the oil level on my scalp is so high, I have used the shampoo for so and so long, now I see the oil level on my scalp is this high. So I think this really helps, especially with customer retention, because you walk them through a program. but also it really adds something to the brand. You have a story of a program to tell, and especially merging now with technology where you can use your phone, NFC data, you just tap it and read it out, is a very unique way to now enter into this hair care market, besides just a different formulation.
Yeah, so real point of difference. Lovely. So I think we possibly have time for maybe 2 more questions. We have one that's come in asking, what are the ingredients that you envision will be fading out? That's a really interesting one. Does anybody want to answer that one? What ingredients for hair care do we think are going to be fading out? No, if nobody wants to answer that, let's move on to our last one. I like this one, actually. Somebody sent this in saying, what hair needs are currently not addressed in the mass market? So where do we think the future is going to be for mass market hair care?
I can start perhaps on the difference between mass market and professional brands, because finally there were a lot of confusion at some point, but there's more than one, I would say, that we could pick with some differences, but we can come back to the repair that is really trendy and the bond building. I think in that territory, professional and prestige brands regain their legitimacy, providing high-performance product, powerful claims, and even if the mass market has followed in terms of marketing claims, the level of scientific response is not the same, clearly. I think we can find other territory, but this one is really relevant, I would say, to understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, I would definitely say diagnostics is not addressed in the mass market.
No,
being able to pull diagnostics is something very different. And if you go there and do that in the mass, you would be able to so much more verify why your formulation is good for that person. So yeah, diagnostics is going to be definitely the mass market next move.
Yeah, that greater personalization.
I'd also add to that, like ethnic hair care in general, because we have so many mixed hair types nowadays. And just talking to friends who have like specific hair types, like I'm struggling to find the right thing. Like, this is too much, this is not enough, this is like messing up my curls. So I feel like really finding the right thing for the mixed hair types and the ethnic hair care is a big need in the mass market. Like, there are products out there, but you really need to know where to find them, and it's not approached and on a mass market level just yet.
Absolutely, definitely an area for consideration there. Wonderful. So unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. But thank you so much to our panelists for all of your insights and for your presentations as well. To our viewers, thank you for joining us. If we didn't get around to your specific question today, our panelists will be in touch. And as mentioned at the start of the webinar, maybe if you were late to proceedings and maybe missed a little bit, would like to catch up, this webinar will be available on demand. So this is the last roundtable of 2024. We will be back in 2025 with our first topic of the year being sustainability in beauty. We touched a little on it just then, but this one will be entirely devoted to sustainability. So make sure you sign up for that one. If you're interested in being a potential speaker next year, do contact our head of sales, Tristan, at tristanh@hpcimedia.com. With that all said, I'd like to extend a huge thank you to all of our speakers. Have a very happy holidays, and thank you to you guys, our audience, for watching too. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.